The leg happened from a boating accident, and it wouldn't heal. And it was either going to be crutches the rest of my life or an amputation. Eye issues, diabetic retinopathy. That started around 2008, and I was legally blind for about a year. But interestingly enough, to find out, when my eyes were going, my kidneys were going, but I didn't know. Did my regular lab work, and then I go and they said, yep, you have kidney disease, you're stage 5. Well, I went outside with my wife and it got emotional. I said, how much more? My doctor, he said, you do have this, but there's good news, we can fix it. And I'm like, how do we fix it? I said, kidney transplant? He says, no, we need to give a kidney pancreas transplant. And then I have the transplant, and I feel like a teenager again. My hands were like, oh my gosh, I got my father's hands, because they didn't look like Bozo the Clown anymore, puffy. It was incredible. It's like I have a new life, because I just wanted to make it to my son's graduation, see them both go to college. Now I could possibly meet my grandkids. So when you leave the hospital, what they do is they have basically a formula that they use. Okay, he had a kidney pancreas transplant, he's this age, we're gonna load him up. Okay, so I'm loaded up with lots of different drugs, 28 different pills that I'm taking. It's like a big pendulum. And after a month, they go in for a biopsy. Okay, we don't think you were on enough because you have a whiff of rejection. So they add a pill. And they also add infusions of the same drug, which I go through, which is just extremely caustic. Weepy 1 minute and wanting to put my hand through a wall the next minute. They find after another biopsy that I'm not in rejection, but I'm still on all of these meds. They have to prescribe other pills to stabilize my mood. So I'm on all of this medicine and things seem to be okay. So it was like the beginning of our life. And then she got sick out of nowhere. So she had this little lump on her neck, and the doctor called. And he says, I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this over the phone. You have stage 4 lung cancer, terminal. There you go. How you like those hands?
I can't do anything but slap, slap.
Goofball.
Slap, slap.
Look like a lobster.
Like a lobster.
She started getting nauseous, couldn't get comfortable, so she wanted to go take the heating pad, lay on the couch, which is something very common. I got her set up on the couch, go back to bed. So her iPhone alarm starts going off about 5. So I kept hearing her alarm go off, go off. So I say, Renee, and I didn't hear her, so I get up. And then I turned, and she was on the floor. If there's a test that would save this $1 million transplant that I went through, I have no idea how much a biopsy costs. They gave me 8. But if they had a test that they could do that would see what was happening, I could have just been with Renee. Like when the doctor first told me, of course it's chasing after the fact. I knew, watching my labs, that something was going on back in July. And then in October, they do a biopsy and tell me I have the BK. What if they could have caught it in June when Renee was starting this, and I could have been focused on her 100%, even though I tried to. I still had to worry about taking care of this, and my health so that I could be healthy. I was praying every night, God, keep me healthy so that I can take care of my wife. And it was like I couldn't even do that. If I could have one more day, I would have had months. It's just hard.